So here we go. Game number 2 as Yuyu is up 1-0 and we are on the lovely map on Orsha North here for game number 2 with Yuyu on match point. Best of 3. So if he gets the win here, Luna will be out once more in a Division 2 game. This time he made it to playoff stage, but still has to really step it up here to make it any further. Get close to Division 1. As only the 2 finalists in Division 2 will get there. And this matchup won't be easy for him, as Luna once more bans 3rd Fallschirmjäger, 4th Fallschirmjäger, 26th, 97th, and 44th. Only 3rd Fallschirmjäger there being a bit of the odd bunch, whilst Yuyu really goes for the anti-Luna bans here. 4th Munte, 5th Cavalry Motorisator, 52nd Sicherungs, 20th Panzer Grenadier, and Panzerlehr. All bands we usually don't see, but all divisions that Luna kind of likes to play. So I kind of get the bands. Those are really anti-Luna bands, if I have ever seen some. And Luna still obviously found a division though, as he has access to all divisions that are below A tier to pick from. So this time he picked Tartalek. It's going to be interesting to see how he uses that deck. As we have once more with Yuyu with V for Victory versus Luna with Balanced, and Yuyu's pick of division, choice of division, is a strong one. One that is pretty highly regarded, and that is Task Force 45. It got nerfed quite a bit though, so it's not super busted anymore. It has its weaknesses, no anti-tank guns in A phase and so on, and its infantry is not super insane anymore either, but it's still good. Like in the right situation, converted gunners, UK and US still can deal insane damage. The infantry of Tartalek not half bad either. One of the big weaknesses is though, bot on DA as transport, only 60 kmh on the road, and yeah, that's gonna be a bit annoying at the beginning of the game. You have some nice anti-tank rifles though. You have some Langjorok and Romahasharok, somewhat faster transports, flamethrowers. And here we go. And if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe consider giving it a like and a subscribe so you see more of the stuff when it comes up. And yeah, with that said, let's freaking go, guys. Let's freaking go. Stoke 3G coming around. This should be an absolutely entertaining game. Luna once more bringing around the division that we don't see that often. We see Lovas, the other current Hungarian division in the game, quite often, and I'm pretty sure we will see the other 2 Hungarian divisions that are to come with the next DLC, the 25th Hadostali and the 2nd Panchelos, quite a bit in ranked game as well. But Tartalek, usually not a division we see that much. It has pretty strong air tap, it has decent line infantry, like the Lövesh and the Tartalek Lövesh, not half bad. And I mean, Stoke 3Gs are fine as well, but you don't have any massive amount of 2000 meter range, and you are really a bit slow, and you have nothing where you super excel at, where you're like the best of the best, or at least like in the top 3 as a division. Like you really, nowadays the combined arms of Lövesh is not that terrible, but it's just nothing fancy. Like this division will never go above high C tier status because of that. And MG34 here under fire. So it's not even like you can throw your enemy super off of it, because it's still a standard division. You have good pioneers. The Arkajok are pretty good nowadays, thanks to pretty good availability and good hit points. 13-man TNT squadron is nice because they can survive TNT themselves and be around to throw another one in the TNT versus TNT fight. T70 in the north here. Great tool though of Task Force 45, the Brodo Hellcat, really fast vehicle, 81 kilometer. Great gun, 1750 meter gun. Doesn't have APCRs like the Hellcat in the 2nd Infantry, so it doesn't quite get the same firepower, but it has recon ability, which is pretty helpful as well. And the early speed really helps it out, as we have Yuyu already on the 59 here, and that is obviously not good. Converted gunner is okay, shouldn't be able to hold out for long. Tartalek Lövesh here should outgun it slightly, though they are only a 15-point infantry. Decent in 15-point infantry though, like one of the best 15-point infantries in the game, I would say. Has an automatic rifle, and 12 hit points and an SMG. Like, yes, this is 15-point infantry as well, but this is only slight SMG and a couple of rifles. Title like Livish, I would say, outclassed that a bit, as they also have anti-tank capability with an anti-tank grenade, which the converted gunners don't have. Not super helpful, but can be a deterrent against half-tracks and stuff. Meanwhile, in the south, the Actorok move around. No normal Livish on the battlefield whatsoever. Only the sheep stuff, which I find a bit curious. Title like Livish here moving around, trying to get onto the M8. As the H39 is moving around here. Well, Title like Livish in the south will engage the converted gunners. Do decent amount of damage there. More engaging over here, engineers versus Title like Livish. And a good engagement. Akjarok being pushed out. Yes. Converted gunners will have to retreat. No American converted gunners on the battlefield on the other side. Like, both opting for the cheapest of the cheap, but lacking firepower thanks to it. Like, I feel like the strength of Task Force 45 is the combination of the converted gunners UK, which don't have disheartened trait and can hold their line pretty nicely, and combining that with the converted gunners US, which are disheartened, but they have a lot of damage output because they have a hell of a lot of M1 Garants, and they also have a bar. Whilst the converted gunners UK just have basically Enfields, which are really low on the damage output. What you get though is an M2 gun, 90mm, 2000 meter range AA piece that can be used as an anti-tank gun and as an anti-infantry gun as well. A decent amount of AP shells, decent accuracy there as well. Solid rate of fire, better than the Flak 41. But we have more Title like Livish coming in here. So still no normal Livish here in A phase. Stokes moving around, but with the M2 guns around here in the center, they are zoned out a bit. P51 trying to deal with the flamethrower infantry over here. Good dodge from Luna. Good on the micro once more here. BF109 trying to hunt down the P51. Not quite able to get there. H39 moving around. MG34 coming in here for the center. That's to the north. We have Akjarok and Lövesh moving forward as well. Converted Gunner UK trying to hold the line. First Converted Gunners US here now coming in. Engineers and a Sherman. Sherman, not the greatest tank in this matchup. Stokes pretty good against it. And the tank tab of the Title-like division can deal with it pretty nicely as well. TNT infantry a bit in the open though, and the converted gunners now will show their DPS as this Akjarok infantry is under heavy fire now. Ah, the M1 Garant's not quite in range. Okay, it's only the bar now firing, which is not quite the same thing, because really the damage output of this unit comes at the 500 point meter mark, where the 13 M1 Garants can open up and just unleash hell onto the enemy. And if you then have the Converted Gunners UK in front of it that take the shock damage away from them and allow the US gunners to really keep on pounding onto the enemy, it can become pretty fast super snowball. Akjarok here, for example, under heavy fire, getting eliminated quite quickly there in the building. As an H39 though is around. ME 210 coming in with a good amount of bombs here. Dealing with one of the UK converted gunners, dealing good amount of damage to the other converted gunner US. And no anti-tank to deal with this light tank here in the south. One of the weaknesses of the A phase of Task Force 45. Your only anti-tank are your tanks. Your infantry doesn't... and your one recon unit that brings a bazooka, the cavalry scouts. But your normal infantry doesn't bring any anti-tank, and you don't have any anti-tank guns until B phase, where you get some M1 guns. So, unless you see an armored vehicle, you usually don't have to worry about bazookas super much when you play against that division in A phase. Converted gunners here. Trying to deal with the Tatalek Löwesch. Could have won there, but are being pushed back. Engineers will finish the job though. More converted gunners US coming around. Sherman able to engage the 97. Over here, AAP's first Bofors coming around. Tatalek Löwesch not able to get on top of the M8. Converted gunners US coming in here. And a tank weapon coming around on the other side though, with a Panzerschreck. As we have a 90mm, 40mm AAPs coming up for Luna here in the north. No airplay so far from Luna though. More Bofors coming around all across. The other side we have the 2 long-range AAPs. They will keep the sky relatively clean. H39 most likely will fall to the Sherman here. Yes, goes down. Converted gunner UK being chased by Tatalek Löwesch. And the Panzerschreck has to come up to try to deal with the Sherman. 12-12 situation. Yuyu slightly ahead in points. But B-Phase is where Luna will have the point advantage in this income matchup. As we see, Yuyu with B4 victory only gets 19 points per minute for the second 10-minute phase of this game. Whilst Luna gets 130 points per minute. So Luna will be able to bring like 2 infantry units more per minute in B phase. And maybe can use that for a bit of a counter push here. Ooh, gets the converted gunners US somewhat damaged here. 4 of them die as their truck explodes. Go down to 11 hit points. There's more converted gunner US come in for the center. Tatalek Löwesch on the other side. Coming around. Still no normal Löwesch. 100mm off map coming in for the north. Can be useful. Stoke 3G rolling in here as well. 97. 38. M. AT gun here waiting. Super scary against the T-70. Pretty scary against the Sherman as well. Panzerschreck in the forest. But the converted gunner UK will find them. So they won't be able to easily get a kill here on the M8. Converted gunner US finding them as well now. Yeah, not sure why Luna moved it forward instead of trying to disengage there a bit. Gets it killed to the converted gunner US against moving targets. The M1 Garants and the bar deal a hell of a lot of damage. Now in this covered matchup here, both sides in green cover. It's not quite the same, but they still do a good amount. As the M8 is moving around, H38's coming around everywhere on the other side. Stoke 3G trying to help out, pushing the enemy back. The M2 guns still in the rear, but not in any dangerous position. 155mm artillery gun, M1 gun coming around for Yuyu, so once more in with the artillery play already. And the Sherman really helping out in the south. The bazooka, the Panzerschreck down here, once more not getting onto target for Luna. Sherman of Yuyu not getting touched by anything there and can move on. Löwesch for the retug over here, engaging onto the converted gunners. Stoke helping out. Pretty good recon unit. 25 points for a good loadout. And nice optics, like the Solid Thorn. 12 hit points. Pretty good 25 infantry, even without the recon. With the recon, it becomes a pretty helpful tool to find the enemy and hit it hard. And survive doing so. Like they have pretty good recon in force that you can keep in front of your plop, as they don't die quickly. And that means that you will have eyes on the enemy pretty long, even if they get in a situation where they will get under fire. Now, we have a good amount of airplay here from Luna, but the 2 M2 guns here of Yuyu should be able to take it completely out in the center, and even on the flanks, they will push it back eventually. So, Luna not easily relying on his bombers here. ME210s coming around, gets the Sherman in the south at least, but that big investment into air means that he will have less on the ground, and converted gunner US here are flooding in. And only Tatalek Löwesch on the other side. Still only those really low quality infantry. And also on the other side, we have the first couple of engineers coming around. Will we see Nisei's soon? Nisei's obviously really great infantry. Took 3G. coming in here onto the converted gunners. Lovesh moving in. Converted gunners under fire. More Lovesh. Rolling in here, Aksharok versus engineers. Tartalek Lovesh slowly trying to move forward. Engineeros will be able to deal with them though. Aksharok not in the right spot there. Off map of Luna not super efficient, and Yuyu once more back on a 1410. First couple of Lovesh coming in. No artillery onto the M2 guns here from Luna. As the north is falling to the engineeros. Cavalry scouts coming in. When will we see the first Niseis? Niseis, it'll insanely elite infantry. Really strong. 30 points of cost, so they're not cheap. But they come with high level veterancy. They come with a bazooka, and they come with M1 Garants and 2 bars, so they really dish out the damage. As we have the Stoke 3G holding the line here. Lovesh, pretty decent infantry as well. 12 hit points, 2 Danuvias, the Soul Thorn. So they have the better LMG compared to the Tartalek Lovesh. Could have been pretty helpful, especially early on against the converted gunners, having a Soul Thorn there around. As we have some big Hungarian infantry on the battlefield as well. The M31M is one of the better big artillery guns in the game. Maybe one of the best. Can for sure rival the M1 gun over here. Yes, it has one rate of fire, for example, more in the M1 gun. But Yuyu still up on the 1410, close to a 59 here, and Luna once more in trouble. More AA coming around for Yuyu as well, so getting through with airplanes here for Luna will get harder and harder. 2 M15s now protecting the flank next to the M2 guns that help out from the center. And the fighters that Task Force 45 then can bring around to help out can really make a profit out of these guns that force the enemy flames back and then chase him down with a P51. Stoke 3G here will fall to an M2. M2 guns really versatile, and the artillery is going for a counter battery once more for Luna. Once more not trying to deal with any frontline targets. And I once more question if that is the right choice, similar to game number 1. I feel like if you invest that much into air, trying to target AA, and maybe allowing your Stokes to have the best long-range firepower here on the battlefield right now would be an idea worthwhile considering. But it's the counter battery instead. Let's see how effective that will be. ME210 coming around for a Sherman here. Might get the kill. Might not. Nope. Struggles with the frontal armor. He only has a 40mm. And it also got stressed out, so chances of penetration there were not too great. And Yuyu really getting up to that death ball of infantry here. Another ME210 with a T coming in, but that really means with all this investment into air and then also some into artillery, that Luna just has so little on the front line in general. Gets the Sherman here finally killed, but as you can see, like, that doesn't really change much on the overall situation here, as Red is just still overwhelming the enemy just with numbers. The M1 gun here not getting hit by the enemy artillery. Finally going for the M2 AAPs here. But at the same time, North is in trouble, and it's a 59 now for Yuyu. Luna down to a 8-minute timer. Has to somehow try to bring that around, but Flag lost in the north, Flag lost in the center, and Flag lost in the south. It's not gonna be too easy. Lovesh here trying to get some engagements, but converted gunner US holding the line. Lovesh engaging with the converted gunners over here. Get the kill there at least. Stoke 3G trying to help out from the rear. One more Lovesh coming in. As the Stoke 3G is moving forward. Sherman engaging some extra rock. The Sherman holding the or down below, engaging into 1v1 situations here. Engineeros might be able to get their last TNT out here. We'll see if they die before they can get the TNT out. Nope, they just, in the nick of time, get the TNT out and deal a heavy amount of damage there to the enemy. And the counter TNT wasn't really of any importance, as the unit was down to 1 hit point and would have died anyways. Meanwhile, recon plane here, getting in an off-map call. That off-map call looks pretty dope. 305mm off-map. Will hit pretty hard. But it's now a 16-8. As Yuyu also takes over flags in the center. And the flags in the south are not that easy to control. 6-pounder getting on top of the Stuk here. Ooh. Stuk can't break line of sight last second. Stu coming in the center. As we have an ME210 coming in for some converted gunner plot here. Gets one completely wiped out. Second one pushed back. So will get the flag back under control. P51 though gets the kill onto the bomber. And that is obviously way more costly than losing one single infantry unit here. For Yuyu is. As Yuyu is still on the 16-8. Even with the loss of this flag. And this is not looking good for Luna here. 6-pounder at least gets killed in the south. Stuk maybe can come around a bit again, but as soon as we have Niseis in these forests, and I'm so surprised we don't see any yet, we see more Engineeros instead, the bazookas will also keep Stuks out of there. And converted gunners over here moving forward. Tatlak Lövesh on the defense. Stu 42 holding the line. Lövesh engaging the converted gunners. Aksharok coming in. Lövesh moving in into the south. Converted gunner being pushed back, and it seems like Yuyu is taking the place of Sean and will manifest himself here. If Luna can't bring it back, and the 16-8 is looking rough as the best Chinese player. The throne has been a bit vacant. But now we finally have a duel between the two. Like, Luna and Yuyu have been the contender for a while now. And finally we have the match here. And it seems like Yuyu will have the upper hand in this one. Aksharok dying in the north. Tatlak Lövesh being pushed back. Aksharok moving against the Engineeros here. But we'll get the TNT out at least. So this one might be toast. Yeah. 1v1, the Aksharok should win. But only 5 minutes remaining. I don't see what would be in favor of Luna here right now. Off-map plane coming in the south. The off-map in the north did decent amount of damage, but it didn't stop Yuyu from getting more Shermans around. Stuk not in position to deal with them. Akajok on their own now. The T-gun goes down. ME210 trying to come in. But there's still the M2 gun over here, there's still an APs over here, and there's no line of sight onto the Shermans. So the ME210 won't get through. Off map in the south, not on a super important space, and it doesn't even hit anything of importance. Like, the explosions on this one are massive, but they just completely whiff here. And that... Nisei 6-pounders are coming in. No Nisei infantry really so far. Converted gunner US it is. Interesting. That both sides really just love their cheap stuff. Like, both players are known for playing divisions like Kurika 50-second Sicherungs. But I feel like Niseis are just such an auto-include that we don't see them at all. 17-7 here for Yuyu. ME210 still trying to find the kill. And it's only 4 minutes now, and it might be even less if we get to an 18-6 here. I feel like 18-6 is closer to us than a 10-14 is the other way around right now. I'm not getting the push back in here. There's a good amount of Shermans on the battlefield. There's only so few Stuks and Stews, and they're all kind of out of position artillery-wise. Not going half bad for Yuyu either. ME210 finally gets a kill here in the north, as the M15 got taken out by the Stuk. Good kill there from Luna. But another M2 gun will be brought in here up in the north. It's only 3 minutes 22 here. P51 will fly around in the north. Stu Trying to find some damage, but instead will be found by the M2 gun. We'll have a rough time getting the kill there. And yes, the Hungarian guns are good, but one of them being pushed back by counter battery. Other one not quite finding a kill onto the M2 guns over here. Off map coming in. D51. Actually flying really deep now, but the Bofors should be able to prevent that. ME210 once more coming in. Stuk is the only kind of unit here next to an Akajok at the moment in the north though. A couple of Akajok trying to come in, but the converted gunner US should keep them at long distance. Should not let them close anywhere to themselves with insane amount, like over 30 M1 Garants here opening up onto the Akajok, 3 bars. And they are caught in the open field, so you won't cross that without tank support or smoke. The Akajok over here at least tries to get the TNT off, but it's a 17-7 still, and it's only 2 minutes remaining, so there is 5 flags for Yuyu to for Luna to capture here off of Yuyu within the next couple of minutes. I just don't see that happening. Big amount of airplay once more, but there's so limited infantry down here. Löwesch trying to move around, and yeah, it seems like Yuyu will be the one that takes over from Shorn, the place as top-level Chinese player. And Luna will have to try harder, and maybe try cleverer. As, yes, we all like Luna games from time to time, they are wild, but some of these decisions in these games just didn't make sense, and his picks are kind of cool at all, but they could be better, in my eyes as well. Like, there are even better meme picks than Tartalek. And it's only 1 minute 20 now. Off map is coming in and so on, but there's nothing to push with here. Off map coming in for the center, but it's only 100mm and there's nothing to follow it up with either. The Nisei 6-pounder could easily deal with any armor. Moving up here, 6-pounder in the north. Trying to deal with the Stuk 3G. Akajok might be able to free this one flag, so going back down to a 816. Yeah, there we go, but the converted gunners can keep the rest out. A under fire, M109 guns trying to get stuff killed in the rear here, as the M2 gun is helping out against stuff on the other side here. MG34 under fire by the M2 gun. ME210 coming in for the Sherman over here, not quite getting on target, but only 30 seconds remaining now, and the ME210 under heavy fire for sure won't come around another time. As it's now down to 20, and there's just nothing left here to push with for Luna. And Tasso 45 really showing its prowess here in Yuyu's end. Good play from Yuyu in general. Ammo and Pioneers coming in. And we will here see Yuyu a second time victorious with V for victory versus Luna's balanced. And this time Yuyu also has the KD, as he will move on to the semifinals and will face Mimile there. So well played by Yuyu. And yep, Luna bringing in some interesting plays again, but just doesn't have it refined correctly this time. And also, yeah, maybe just picking a slightly higher level pick. Like, it's not like there aren't other cool, interesting divisions around that are just a slight bit better. You don't have to pick the bottom of the bottom to have fun with in Steel Division. And in the tournament, yeah, the enemy will pick top level divisions usually, so you have to be ready for that. And yes, Luna is good and all, but so are the other Division 2 players. And yeah, Yuyu is kicking him out here. And Mimile, strong opponent there. 2 of the highest level players on the ladder. Yuyu, always around the top rank there. So gonna be interesting. Mimile versus Yuyu next up in that one. And the winner then will play Fire Grommel in the finals. So already pretty hyped for what's to come for Division 2 in the Steel Division League. Most likely gonna finish that off with the finals after Christmas. We're gonna see how it all goes. With that said,